Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
How is everybody?
Hello. Namaste.
Doing good.
Good. Okay. Any doubts from yesterday's class? No?
Not as
Okay, great. So I think we'll begin the class. Yeah. Okay. So back and neck straight. Close your eyes. And just focus on your breath. Watching each inhalation and each exhalation. And relaxing your mind. Check your posture. Back and neck will be straight. Arms are relaxed. And now begin to deepen your breath. Inhale deeply. Then holding for 2 to 5 seconds. And then exhaling deeply. Going at your own pace. We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. Inhale deeply for Om. Shanti. Join both your palms together in front of your chest and rub them together. Please do never the eyes. And slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, come back with a smile. And namaste to everyone. Okay, so today we are playing 7-Up. Yeah, I think most of you would have played it at one point in your life or another. Yeah, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wherever 7, like 7 or a multiple of 7 comes up, we'll say 7-Up. Okay. So like if I come to 17 also, there is 7 in that number, right? So at that number, I'll just stop and say 7-Up. Okay, great. So just unmute yourself and we'll begin. Okay, so I'll start. 1,
2,
4,
5.
5.
Jagriti ji, you'll go with 6, yeah?
6.
Like 7 up,
8.
9.
10,
11.
Jagriti ji.
13.
12, you had to go with 12, right? He said 11, Omkar ji.
He said 11. Okay. 12.
13,
7 up.
15.
16,
7 up.
18.
19,
20.
7 up.
22,
22. 23.
24.
25.
26.
7 up.
Oh, yeah, 7 up. Sorry.
29.
30.
31,
32.
33.
34,
7 up.
36.
7 up,
38.
39.
40,
41.
7 up.
43,
44.
45.
46,
7 up.
48.
48 comes in table of 7. No, wait. 35, 42, 7 up,
50.
51.
52,
53.
54.
55.
56. Oh, sorry, 7 up.
Mm.
7 up.
57.
Oh,
So we both are out, you won.
yeah, but I took my time to think about what comes in the table of 7. I don't think we get time, no? Like, I was mentally calculating. All of us are out. Technically, that way I was the first one out.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So we'll start with today's class. Today we are discussing hindrances on the path of yoga.
इसे अंतराय बोलते हैं वही ना.
We also call them chit vikshep. Right. Okay. So when you're on the path of yoga, like you would have seen that there are a lot of hindrances that come up. So knowing previously about or in prior about these hindrances will help you to understand which one you are in, one thing. And second of all, that if you are in one of the hindrances, you need to come out of those. Like those are stopping your progress on the path of yoga. So in the second chapter itself, first chapter itself, Patanjali ji gives the 9 obstacles on the path of yoga. So they are a total 9 in number. Okay. So the first one is Vyadi. Styan. Mental dullness. Actually, mental illness. 3 is alasya. Or laziness. samshay or doubt, pramad or negligence, avirati or samples. Bhranti darshan. False notion or perception. Okay. Eighth is alapta bhumi kattva or inability to attain samadhi. And last is anavistattva or instability in mind. Instability in samadhi, you can say. Okay. Just let me know once you have written all of these, then I'll begin to explain.
Yeah, all written.
All written? Okay. Okay. So when you start on the path of yoga, there are, as I said, some things that come in. Yeah. So first thing that happens, like when you start yoga, is like sometimes what happens is some disease or vyadhi comes in. Okay, when you are practicing, because what happens is like when you do go into a process like yoga, there are some mental defilements, I can say, or some deep rooted uh, sanskars, or I can say something that is negative on the mental level, okay, that is present in the chit. Okay, and sometimes it has a way of coming up in the form of a disease. Okay, this is the most common thing that you will see, like when people like meditate, sometimes some diseases first, sometimes some things first come up and then they get dissolved. Okay, so this is a very effective way for the mind to stop you from going ahead in your path of yoga, because if your body is not able, okay, so you won't be able to sit for meditation, you won't be able to do that meditation practice. So first thing that you have to do, like, that is why Ayurveda is so important. So first thing that you have to do is make sure that your body is okay, physically you are well and fit, so that you can at least perform all the practices that are given in yoga, and then then go ahead. So this is a very like common way in which, like, you will see that your sadhana will stop. Okay, then we go to styan or mental illness. Okay, so in styan also what is happening, there is again illness, but now this illness is coming on a mental level. Okay, so sometimes when we sit for meditation, and some people like just close their eyes and then immediately open up their eyes. Why? Because so many thoughts are there and they just are not able to sit with those thoughts. So this thing where your mind is taking you either to the past or the future, which leads to either depression or anxiety, yeah, out of the two, or any other mental disease that you have, will always stop you from going ahead on your path in yoga, because you are not able to even perform the basic practices with a state of alertness and attention towards them. Okay, leave meditation and all of these things behind. Even the part where you are doing asana and pranayama, some people are not able to sit for even pranayama. Yeah, so sometimes what happens is that you will come across a lot of people who are practicing yoga who will do asana very well, but when the time comes for pranayama, they are unable to sit. They are very highly disturbed. Yeah, so what is happening is there is something in their mind, some defilement in their mind, which is actually stopping them from going ahead on their path of yoga. Body wise, they are very stable, but then that stability has a purpose. Developing that stability in the body has the purpose of going on the other limbs of yoga and going in their practice. But if you have mental illness, you won't be able to go ahead and practice those. Yeah. Okay. Then we move on to the third one, which is alasya. Okay. So now in this fast-paced world, yeah, where we get everything that we want in the comfort of our house, and sometimes even like we don't even have to get up from our bed, and people like your parents will come and give you food in bed. So all of these things, what are these things like? Promoting like a sense of laziness inside of you. There is a lot of tamas which exists inside of us these days. Yeah, because we are living in a world where everything is delivered to us on our doorstep. Okay, so you really have to fight this one. Like this one is another like common thing that happens, that okay, suppose now I'm doing yoga for a lot of days, and one day like I am like feeling very lazy. Okay, and so what I do is I decide today I'm not going to do yoga. Today I'm very like I can say today I'm not feeling like doing yoga. So that at that point you have to push yourself ahead and get up and go to your mat, sit on your mat, at least go sit, breathe on your mat for a while, then see if you want to physically move your body or not. That's okay. You can just go and sit sit on your mat and just do some breathing. Even that will make you feel a lot better. So this, when alas comes in, then tamas gun is very prominent. So you have to break that, like I can say, flow of energy and go into some practice, and then you see that the tamas starts going down. Okay, so this is a big obstacle because you're just like, okay, let me take 1 day break. But when you are considering the practice of yoga very seriously, then not even like you don't even take break for 1 day, or even I can say a few hours. Like when a yogi goes into deep yogic practice, then the yogi is like what, constantly and continuously practicing yoga in one form or the other. Okay, then we move to the next, which is sanshaya. Okay, or doubt. Now this is the one which will like I can say, alas I can still get up and fight. But sanchaya is something, unless and until you don't clear it, yeah, then even if you're practicing, that practice won't, for you at that point of time, won't seem very effective. Even though it is effective, it is affecting your body. But if I don't like I can say believe in something, then even if I'm like meant to practice it, there is not a lot that I can gain out of it. Like you must have seen, sometimes you believe in something and that thing really comes true. Yeah, because you earlier you were not putting your faith or belief in that thing, but now suddenly something happened and you change your mind and you believe in that thing. So your belief is what gives that practice or thing the power to show its effect in your life. Okay, So a sadhak can doubt his practice, one thing, कि जो सिखा रहे हैं, whatever is being taught is not okay. Okay. He can also doubt himself. Okay. मैं ठीक से नहीं कर पा रहा. I'm not able to do. I'm not the right person, or this is not for me. Yeah, this also comes up. Sometimes we practice something and we're just like, मेरे लिए नहीं है ये. Okay. So understand that that is when the doubt is coming in. Okay. And the third thing is that you doubt your own guru. Okay. Now your guru tells you to do something and you are just like, I don't understand why he's telling me this and I don't think I should be doing this. But he knows the capability of the student and what the student will learn out of that thing. So then whatever he says, you should follow that. And once you follow that, you will start seeing why he said a particular thing. Okay. So Sanshaya will stop you and all of these doubts will yeah, okay, let me just complete, then you can ask. Okay. All of these doubts will only basically obstruct from obstruct you from moving ahead on your path. Yes, Omkarji.
So I just there's some understanding about one thing. I just want to share you. Just tell me if it's right or not about doubt only. So what I observe from some time that this doubt, right? So the environment for this thing, anything that you want to do, it's utmost important that without that changing something is something different. Like for example, like if I'm going to go into spiritual thing, and like a lot of people say that you don't have to go to ashram or you don't have to go to spiritual places and do spirituality. You can do in household life. You can do your IT job and do spirituality. But particularly, I thought that it's almost next to impossible, because like if suppose I'm working in a IT company, right, and daily I'm hearing the words promotion, stock market, this. So that all things, even if at some level they are real, they looks like almost that's the only reality exists in the world. And in between, if I saw hear something like samadhi or something, 1 2 3 words of yoga, even though I somewhat feel that might be true, but the 1,000 words that I'm hearing that side and the 3 words I'm hearing this side won't affect anything. So in that time there will be doubts, and you can say that because of your sense, and it's not wrong thing. But the opposite thing, when if I enter some ashram or some places where the spiritual environment, if I stay there for 1 year, even though at the start I was full of doubts, I think after 1 year, when hearing this lot of things about this thing, the outside world seems to be unreal, and this things seems to be real. So I think the doubts is like we can't forcefully someone say that you are doubting. That means you are doing something wrong, or you have to forcefully put a faith. It's like environment is most important. Like I can't say someone working in a corporate so that you should put faith in God. You should put faith in yoga, because it's not for his fault as well. Until he comes out of that environment, it's natural to doubt something that he's not hearing full time, something like that.
Hmm. It is very natural to doubt. That I agree with. But once again, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's an obstacle. It will stop you. Okay. If you're stuck in that doubt, if you're not giving the practice a chance to answer your doubts, then this will obstruct you. बस इतना ही है. उससे उससे ज्यादा गलत सही वाला इसमें नहीं है मतलब.
गलत सही तो yeah, actually the last, if you what the last statement, like how do you rate the environment in this particular thing? Because what I've experienced is like this all things are very much true, but they all support when, or they all you can observe them, or you can trust anything or anything when you get into proper environment that is needed for spiritual thing. So what do you think about this actually?
See, actually, you can learn spirituality like techniques and everything when you go in that environment. But the point is that we need it more than anybody else, because we are dealing with so many people and so many situations which cause us to go in, like I can say, in a state of mind where I'm not able to stay calm or maybe be peaceful. So I think environment does impact. Like, it's very good to go every once in a while and rejuvenate yourself with that kind of an environment. But keeping it in your day-to-day practice is something that you will always have to work on. Like, आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते कि like some people renounce everything and still they are not able to practice yoga very effectively even though they have the environment. ऐसा भी होता है. It happens the other way around also. So it's just a way of your mind maybe trying to say that most of your life this thing is not fitting in. So मैं क्यों believe करूं? Yeah, why should I incorporate that? But that is the exact reason why you should do it.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, understand, correct. But your point is correct. But at least at the start of the spirituality, when your the spiritual base is very were not very much strong, that time you need a kind of support. Once it get into some kind of level, then you can go into the outside environment, you can see the most materialistic thing and not get affected by it. But at the start of spirituality, just a thought I shared, I just wanted to know your perception, just because a doubt thing came, right? That's anyways.
It does happen. Like, sometimes we think that if we are in that type of environment, we'll be able to practice more or practice better. But if my mind is not in that state, or maybe my body is not supporting that, तो मैं उस environment का बहुत ज़्यादा benefit ले नहीं पाऊंगी. Like, that is my add-on to this. Like, that is what I experienced myself. Like, despite having the environment, sometimes when I did not have the will or motivation, I did not take advantage of it. Okay, so I'll move ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is pramad or negligence. So this is also something that we have earlier also talked about, that sometimes we know but we don't do. Yeah, or sometimes we know what is right and wrong, but still we choose the wrong thing, or we neglect certain things which we know that these things will, like in our practice this thing will affect me and it will affect me greatly, but right now because it's not affecting me that much, I will become negligent, like missing one day. Okay, so very simple example. So sometimes I know that I can break out of my laziness, but I neglect that, and I'm just like, I neglect my practice and I'm just like, one cheat day is okay. Now one cheat day is okay, but then what happens is you get into a loop of that cheat day because you are neglecting. Right now you're in that kind of my state of mind, or I can say that is your your basically you're stuck in this one. It's not tamas which is guiding you that much. Like, you have the energy but you're still not getting out, yeah, and doing those things, neglecting. So then what starts happening is one day ka 2 day, after 2 days we go to 3 days, 4 days, and then before you know it, 1 week, 1 month has gone by and you haven't practiced. So this negligence, you have to avoid it. Okay, and when you, at least when you become aware that now I'm being negligent, now I'm not being lazy, I'm being negligent about it, then you have to start coming back after recognizing this thing. Okay, then the next one is avirati. Okay, or desire for sense objects. Okay, so after a while, when you go into meditation and maybe you're practicing for a long period of time, even then you see that your desire for sense objects has not gone. Okay, And when you are being pulled towards some sense object or the pleasure that you attain out of that sense object, then that thing, like just one time, like going and indulging in that, will take you again back into that cycle. Now like for the past 30 days, I have been having sattvic food. I have changed my environment, cut off everything. Okay. But one day, somebody brings an ice cream in the, I can say, in the campus. Yeah. And then you indulge in it. It's not wrong to indulge in it. It's okay to have cheat days. At least for us, it's okay to have cheat days. But then all the time ice cream is going on in my mind. All the time I'm just like, up next kab milegi, next kab milegi. Yeah. When am I going to like be able to eat it more freely next time? तो क्या है, I'm sticking to a routine because of my environment, but still there is such an intense desire for a sense object in that moment, है ना? तो when I have this intense desire to have that sense object, so what will start happening is I'll start getting attached. Okay, यहाँ पे attachment आ जाती है आपकी उस चीज के साथ. So you start getting attached and then your sense of detachment goes away. Vairagya is very important when you're on the path of yoga or yogic practices. That sense of detachment then goes away because sense objects have a lot of control over us. So you would never, like, not even realize when this thing has come in and you have lost your sense of balance. Yeah. Okay. Then the next, I can say, hindrance is Bhranti Darshan. Okay. Before moving to this, let me just tell you, like, all of these like obstacles have also been given in a particular format, as you can see. Like the beginning one, like beginner will face the beginning few a lot. Yeah. And then as you move ahead in your sadhana, then these ones will come in, like the ones that are given below, they will start coming in more often. Like you will be able to like control your mind, you will be able to fight your laziness and doubt as you practice. But then these things, even for an advanced level student, like there are some hindrances that are there, so he has given all of these hindrances in this format. Okay. So then we come to Bhranti Darshan, false notion or perception. Okay. So when you go into spiritual practices, once again, you go with some mind, yeah, that this will happen when I practice this, or that will happen when I practice this. And sometimes what happens is, even though you haven't experienced that thing, especially in meditation this happens, okay, even though you haven't experienced that thing, but because you have an idea in your head that this is how it's going to happen, then what happens is that everything, like, then you go into Bhranti Darshan, क्योंकि आपको क्या हुआ, illusion हो गया उस चीज का. So I'll take an example to clarify this. So what happens is that suppose when I go for a particular meditation, somebody tells me that I will see a white light in front of my eyes when I've reached a particular stage in my meditation. So I become very happy. Okay, now I know that when this experience will happen, then I will be at that stage. And not only does it make me happy, there is a sense of craving that comes in along with it. Now, whenever I sit for my meditation, I crave for that experience. Okay. So what happens is, with time that craving increases so much that I have a false notion. ऐसा हो जाता है that sometimes I think that I have seen a white light in front of my eyes when I close my eyes, but in actuality I haven't. It's only because my craving for that thing has increased so much that now that is being reinforced in my experience. Okay. So an advanced level sadhak has to be very, very clear of what he is doing, and he has to be very, like, that is why concentration is very, very important. If my concentration is good, then I can see what is real, what is unreal, yeah, when I'm in my meditation. So that is very, very important. If your concentration is not well established, then you might, the chances of experiencing Bhranti Darshan increase by a milestone. Okay. So false notion does come in. Okay. Then the next one that we have is alabdhumikatva, okay, or inability to attain samadhi. Okay. Now I've been practicing yoga for such a long time, okay, and I have like done everything correctly. Okay, I know that. I have proper proof that I'm on the right path. I'm doing everything correctly. But what is happening is that I'm not able to attain samadhi, and that discourages a student immensely, because the student still has some aim or some these things like all these desires, rag, dvesh, get out of our system with time. Yeah, it's a very long process, and it isn't exactly a linear process. Okay. So when I sit and meditate, it doesn't mean that if I'm meditating, I don't go in a negative mindset, or if I'm meditating, I'm free from all desires at once only, like because I've been meditating for so long. It depends on what comes out when. Okay. So sometimes what happens is that a sadhak has been practicing for so long, but he or she is unable to attain the stage of samadhi. And this discourages that person a lot. So this is where that person needs to increase his understanding and see why it's not happening. Sometimes what happens is we have some deep rooted sanskars which do not allow us to go into states like samadhi. Okay. And they are removed only with continuous practice of all the other steps. Okay. So he or she needs to understand that right now, because of some sanskar or some previous thing that I have collected, okay, I am not able to go into that state. If he does that, if there is this kind of vivek, we can say proper discrimination is there, then he or she will be able to move ahead in the practice. But an advanced level student can get stuck over here. Okay. Then the last one that we have is this one. Sorry. Inability to, instability in samadhi. Anavasthit tattva. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So now suppose all the other ones I have been able to tackle somehow. I knew that there was some false notion or this is not the correct thing. All of these things I have tackled. Okay. But then what happens is that I go into samadhi. It's not so okay, I'm not able to touch samadhi. I go into samadhi and there is so much instability at that, like in that practice, that I come back. I keep coming back from that practice. So because my mind is not able to remain there for a long period of time. So when this happens, then also an advanced level sadhak might experience lack of encouragement to pursue that path. Okay. Now I'm able to attain samadhi. I understand what samadhi is. But because I'm not able to remain in it for a very long time, there's some frustration, some irritation, then some doubt might also come in. Yeah. All of these things might start happening again to me. And it is only because I have this picture in my mind that once I attain samadhi, like whenever somebody uses the word samadhi, you're just like, samadhi lag gayi. Okay. So everybody has this notion in their head that when once you reach the state of samadhi, then you're going to be in it. Yeah. But that doesn't happen, at least for a few levels, like till a few points. That does not happen. You constantly come back from the state of samadhi, like we were discussing yesterday also, dharana dhyan samadhi. Yeah. So you keep coming back from that thing, and once you do, if it is discouraging you, yeah, then that means that you do not have the correct understanding of samadhi, one thing. And second thing, that there is no reason to be discouraged. That is also one of the stages of samadhi. After coming to that stage, coming back, going again, coming back, going again, then one point will come where you will reach that continuous state also. Okay. And this also happens once again because of your previous sanskars. Okay. So sometimes what happens is you're able to attain it, but you're not able to prolong it, the state of samadhi. So one needs to understand that there are a lot of things that you have to work on when you go in this spiritual path. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Omkarji.
You complete it. I'll ask it. completely.
Okay. So sometimes what happens is that you are able to reach over there, not able to come back. So just developing this understanding is very important. That's all I had to say. Yeah, go ahead.
So I have two doubts. First one is this samadhi, right? So the samadhi path is like quite clear for someone who is practicing Patanjali Yoga Sutra, or someone who is practicing Jnana Yoga, or someone who is practicing in Karma Yoga. It's kind of same that the ultimate stage is meditation, where you will sit for meditation, concentrate, and after some long period of time, you can get samadhi. So I just wanted to know about the bhakti path, right? So what is the alternative? Like if someone is doing bhakti, then puja every day, then you can say daily puja and daily chanting, then all the rituals, everything and something, right? So what is the what is the, okay, not alternative, what is the same thing that we experience samadhi for someone who is not doing meditation but on bhakti path? So what is their aha moment that I got it? After that, there will be enlightenment.
So for them, like once again, they are like, as per my understanding, Bhakti Yoga is a path where there is a lot of belief, है ना? वहाँ पे there are no results that are being shown. So here, this is the point where Abhyas and Vairagya comes in, है ना? Like I told you, for an advanced level student, nothing has to be done. There are only two things that Patanjali ji talked about: Abhyas and Vairagya. So they're doing Abhyas daily of doing their rituals and practices, and Vairagya, they're doing it with a sense of detachment. So for them also, at some point of time, this aha moment will come in. Like once you go in the practice, that is when you'll know. Like I haven't done Bhakti Yoga, like I haven't gone into the practice of Bhakti Yoga, so I don't know when it comes in, but of course it comes in at
But
different.
what they actually like, I've also heard that some people actually see the face of the god they are worshipping in. So the a lot of people say that that is also correct, that in form of meditation, or when you're part of Jnana Yoga or Kriya Yoga, everything, you are your target is to see everything as one. Nothing is separate. And for them, they want to see everything as a god. So the form they are worshipping, like suppose I am worshipping Shiva, so I'll see Shiva, the like that person will see is Shiva in the form of God, or we can say someone is seeing consciousness as form of God when he is practicing Raj Yoga, Kriya Yoga everywhere, and they will see Shiva everywhere somewhere, and then they can say they are because they are not targeting to see anything as part of them. Like their target is not to see that everything is you and everything is same. Their target is to see everything is God. So they will ultimately see that everything is Shiva. So maybe samadhi is something like that. I don't know. I just wanted to ask, like.
So, as per my understanding, there are two things that happen. Like, but I haven't practiced Bhakti Yoga, so it's more of an intellectual discussion. Like, I'm going more into intellectual discussion when I'm getting into this. One is that that God is separate from them. Yeah. So that they will have darshan of the God. बट वही वाली बात है कि वो सेपरेट होगा उनसे, लाइक यू आर ऑल्सो सेइंग दे डू गेट, लाइक वी ऑल्सो टॉक ऑफ डिवाइन ग्रेस, सो ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स ऑल्सो हैपन. Like there are two things that I have read. One is this one, okay, that it's separate from them. Yeah. And they cannot, like, duality, there is a concept of duality in Bhakti Yoga. Second thing, that one more thought that I have read of is that eventually they start seeing everybody as God and everybody as one, and they understand that they are also God. तो उसमें फिर duality नहीं आई, उसके अंदर there is no duality, so they start from duality and then they go into non-dualism. But more commonly, what I have read is that their personal god, the god that they choose, is separate from. It's of course separate from them, because you don't possess
They
those
consider
qualities.
that God consciousness is different, and that the part of that consciousness is inside us. So
Mm,
that is not complete consciousness that we have.
mm,
Just part of that consciousness we have, something like that. So I have one more doubt here. Suppose I say that this is correct, like the God is separate, okay, and suppose assume that the God is also controlling everything
mm,
also, like the it's not controlling anything, means just helping the, like you are saying, god grace when someone is on
mm,
spiritual path, he just helps them
mm,
to show them path they have to walk. Suppose these things are true, okay. So and a lot of places, even in kriya or raja yoga also, like I've read this swamiji saying that actually god helps people, and actually god grace is there, actually god is somewhat controlling things. Okay, suppose these things are true. So there's also one assumption, or like assumption, not say, there's one perception that when someone is on higher spiritual level, or you can say you're saying that the practitioner on higher level, suppose around samadhi and everything. So there's kind of a test god take the some difficulty is given at that stage to see that his level is actually he's able for the samadhi, or he's able for enlightenment. So is that true, or is that the thing that you have also heard about?
mm. So I'll tell you, like I have read about Buddha, Siddhartha Gautam. So when he was also like in his final few stages, like going to attain the final goal. So then Maya came in, and like there were a lot of things with which even he was lured in. But his determination and his like sankalp was so strong that he did not go into that. So these things do come up, like even like if I talk of yoga, the education of yoga. So right now like the system is going very differently. Like even for most spiritual practices, you pay over there and then go. But actually this all of this knowledge is invaluable. There is no price you can put on it. And because of that, earlier we had guru shishya parampara and gurukuls. So first, before somebody could go and go into that gurukul, the guru used to give some tests to see if the student is capable or not. So
Mm,
even before starting the practice also, this used to be there earlier. Right now, so we are choosing that we want to learn something, and we are able to access that. बट पहले तो वो भी नहीं होता था. पहले earlier you wouldn't even gain access to that knowledge only. The guru will
mm,
first test you if you are
mm.
capable or not.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and one more thing about this, right? Maya came when Buddha stopped. So, is that Maya concept also included in Buddhism, like Maya concept?
See, so word उसके लिए माया use करा गया, but like you said, like it's some way in which the world is trying to attract you back into
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Actually, I just wanted to ask because I'm like I read about Advaita Vedanta. They also directly don't accept, not directly don't say about God, but they introduce the concept of Maya, and ultimately they accept a God. So that's why I just want, because Buddhism also directly don't accept the concept of God, right? So that's why I just wanted to know that, because ultimately, if you say Maya came and everything, ultimately you are saying there is something higher power that is controlling you. So just wanted to know about that.
no, Maya is the word that I'm using, like because कुछ obstacle आया, some obstacle came up when he was practicing, which tried to lure him back into the sense world. So I can say, yeah, they do like use the word Maya for this, like illusion is
Okay.
there. Hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other doubts till now, like what we have discussed today? Stop sharing. Okay. So we'll end today's class. Okay. So today, self-reflection for today is see which one of these nine, like you think where you are, like which one gets the better of you. Like out of these 9, one would be like very prominent for you. So that will help you not only understand that that one is the most prominent for you, you can look for solutions for that particular thing then. And that will help you in your practice, because then you will know that this is the one that comes up mostly. Okay. So today just go write down in your diary which one you felt was, which category you fell into. Okay. So we'll close the session. Back
जस्ट
in.
एक शेयर करना चाहती हूँ मैं, क्वेश्चन नहीं है, जस्ट शेयर कर रही हूँ मैं कि हम लोग क्या रूटीन लाइफ में सब कुछ फॉलो करते हैं, जैसे थोड़ा आसन भी करते, थोड़ा प्राणायाम भी करते, थोड़ा मेडिटेशन भी करते, और ट्राई करते कि यम नियम थोड़ा थोड़ा तो ऑब्जर्व करें। तो ये तो काफी सालों से चल रहा है हमारा, तो ऐसा मुझे लगता है कि इसमें इतना प्रोग्रेस नहीं हो रहा है हम लोगों का, बिकॉज क्योंकि पूरा फोकस वहां नहीं है, ना, थोड़ा थोड़ा है, थोड़ा अपना गृहस्थी में भी रहता है, थोड़ा अपना रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज में भी रहता है। तो ये सब कुछ मैनेज करते करते मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हम लोग सब कुछ थोड़ा थोड़ा कर रहे हैं, 100% कहीं नहीं दे पा रहे। तो अभी मुझे कई बार मतलब ऐसे थॉट्स आते हैं कि तो मतलब ऐसे ही पूरा लाइफ खत्म हो जाएगा का क्या मतलब।
See, इस लाइफ में अगर आप आए हो एज अ हाउस होल्डर, ओके, यू हैव कम हियर विद सर्टेन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, सो यू कैन नॉट लीव दोज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज बिहाइंड. तो इट्स ओके, जितना प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो कीप दैट प्रैक्टिस कॉन्टिन्यूअस. वंस अगेन कॉन्टिन्यूटी इज द की. तो जितना रख पा रहे हो, this dissatisfaction does come in every once in a while where you think you're not giving your 100%, but you are giving your 100% where you are. Okay. And when you will be ready to leave the world and then put in all of your time and effort towards that thing, then you will know when you have to leave. आपको internal understanding आ जाएगी. But for now, we have to fulfill our responsibilities also. So it's good enough that you're able to incorporate all of this in your life. इस डिससैटिस्फैक्शन में मत जाओ कि 100% नहीं दे पा रहे, ये रोकेगा आपको. गिल्ट ट्रिगर होता है इस चीज से, and then it becomes a vicious circle, the guilt thing. So that is also, I can say, a way of the mind to get you out of these things. Guilt दे देता है बहुत ज्यादा. तो जितना कर रहे हो, understand it is sufficient. If you think you can add more things to it, it's awesome and amazing, as long as you're able to be continuous about that. But understanding the limitations of day-to-day life, you are doing good enough. है ना? Okay. Okay. So we'll close the session. Back neck straight.
Thank you.
Close your eyes. Just take a few breaths. Let the information go in. We'll chant Om one time, followed by 3 Shantis. Inhale deeply for Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Join both your palms in front of your chest and bow down. Remember any one incident from your past 24 hours that you are grateful for, and say a mental thank you. And now rub both the palms together. Place them over your eyes. And slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, you can open up your eyes, come back with a smile. And namaste to everyone. I will see. Thank you. I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.